Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah, we are live. He gave us the finger, so we're live.
We are live.
Oh, my goodness. Hello, and welcome to A Coffee with Carla, Chelsea.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited you're here.
I'm excited.
I've wanted you to come on for so long, and it's just, been one of those things. So,
yeah.
You introduce yourself, and I am going to share to my page, and we'll carry on after that.
Okay. Chelsea Whitley. I'm from Georgia. I'm a mother, a wife, Christian. I have 3 wonderful boys. I'm an all-boy mom. I'm a Georgia football SEC fanatic. I love life. I love people, and I'm in the spray foam industry. I guess
Yes,
I can't forget
you
that.
That's right.
That's normally how my title starts.
Right. I threw you off with all this, like, who are you?
Yeah, like, who am I?
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, and I work for IDI Distributors in the spray foam industry. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about all things family, faith, and football to start with. So
Okay.
We've got a few people that have joined us. So good morning, everybody who's joined us. So yeah, let's jump into what it's like being the mom of 3 boys during this crazy time that we are all living through. How is that going?
Well, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
I think all of us have had a change of lifestyle, but being a mother of 3 boys, I guess the toughest part of all this is my kids really love sports and they love to be on their teams, and everything they had was just stripped away from them. Like the next day, like, okay, you're not going to school anymore.
Right.
You're not an athlete anymore. All your teams are gone. You're not going to see your friends. So it's been tough,
What are their ages again, Chelsea? How old are they?
They are, they're about to be 11, 10, and 4. So they're,
wow.
Yeah.
You've got a range.
Yes.
Yeah.
It took me a really long time to have another one after the first 2.
Yeah. I love your pictures. You guys are always like, your pictures, especially your Instagram is awesome. And it's always filled with like, it's positive and just, it's just a good, you're one of my favorite people to follow for that very reason. Cause you share your family, but you also share just like positive messages and just good stuff. So that's the thing that I wanted to talk about, was kind of the, what it is like right now, because it's, being positive in this time, it can be a challenge being positive just in general.
Right.
It shouldn't be, but it can be.
Absolutely.
It is hard right now, because people are like, I've had some not nice messages on my positive messages, like downright like angry, and I get it. I get it. But so how do you keep that going just in your household? How do you keep that going?
I have to bring all my positivity back to my faith. That's just that's what my foundation's on, is my faith and my trust in God. So, definitely do I have my days? Absolutely. Do I have my moments where I feel like giving up? Absolutely. But my faith has just really kept me strong in my prayer life. Having someone out there, that I know that's bigger than me and bigger than this whole situation, really, keeps me grounded. But just, I don't know, I'm a very routinistic person, so organization keeps me happy too, and positive. So every day I wake up, pretty much I have the same routine every day, and my kids have the same routine. So we're very routinistic and organized, and that keeps me sane. But trying to stay positive through all this, I think in the end, this is all going to bring us to a better place. If you look even just through history, everything that, all the trials and tribulations, they always ended up in a better place because of what other people have been through. Even if it's not us, we may be affecting other people's lives down the road.
Right.
So I think just trying to stay positive and knowing that, this is our situation is not our destination. And that's what you have to remember every day. And every day I have to constantly remind myself, okay, there's something bigger than this,
Right.
We're going to get through this, and we're going to get through this together.
Yeah. How have you kept, when you say you guys follow a routine, how do you keep that going with everybody? Now you've got homeschooling thrown in there too now, right?
Yes.
So how does that, because I know I've seen the posts, I've seen moms and dads too, like just going like, our routine's gone out the way, like everything's off, right? And so can you kind of share how you guys manage to keep that going and how you do that, just because there might be something you guys are doing that will help somebody else.
Right. So by no means do I claim to be the perfect mother, but what helps for us may not help for everybody else. But maybe it could. So usually, I have a wonderful, wonderful nanny that has been with me for, goodness, 6, 7, 8 years. So I have someone else in the house that definitely helps me. And my husband and I own a cabinet and construction business outside of this as well.
Oh, do you guys?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Oh, awesome.
So on top of all that, he's usually out, on job sites all day. So it's usually me and the kids and, someone helping. Yeah. But I always wake my kids up. They have to be up and out of bed by 8:30, 9 o'clock. I understand. We have gained an extra hour with that. I'm like, okay, they can sleep in. So we, at 8:30, 9 o'clock, they have a schedule that's wrote out for them on the fridge, so they know what the expectations are. And I don't have to remind them, and they'll go look at it, and they'll be like, oh, Mom, we're supposed to be doing this right now, and I'm like, oh, yeah. So if you can keep them accountable for it, I feel like it makes them feel responsible. And they also correct me, like, hey, Mom, it's lunchtime. I'm like, oh, yeah, I've been on conference calls all day. Let me go fix you lunch.
Yeah.
So I think that's big for us, is having that schedule, having them a visual, something to look at and know their expectations. So whenever I get onto them, they already knew. I'm like, you knew it was expected. This is your job. That's how we kind of look at it every day. It's like, this is your job, and how are we going to perform at our job today?
Right. Yeah, I know when my kids were little, because both my ex-husband and I both worked. So when they were old enough, they were going home after school, and they had the list, and they had to call every day when they got in the door. And so if my coworker answered, who they knew him and adored him, and he was so awesome, but he'd always answer the phone, and how was your day at school? And then he'd go, how's your day? Okay, good. Now what's on the list? They all knew, they had a list. So it was list. And on that list I put on there too, it was very, when you get in the door, hang up your coat, put your shoes away. It was very, I know people thought that was weird, but it was kids don't if you, it needs to, I think adults need it too, but sometimes it has to be that specific. Because they come in the door, they just drop, right? They don't want to, they just, and they're hungry, and, so it's kind of get that list. Yeah.
Well, I think that's for both, as adults, I think, the list works for me and putting my expectations of my kids on paper. Because their expectations are different from mine. Right. Them throwing their towel on the hook may be their way of cleaning up, but that's not how I want it. I want the towel neatly put on the hook. You know what I'm saying? So
not all crumpled up and nice and wet and dampy.
But they don't know that. They don't know that, after time they'll eventually get it. But, I think we have to, adults as well, okay, well, this is what I expect. So they don't just assume, I don't want to have to assume they know what I'm talking about or what I want.
Right. Yeah. So what kind of things are on their list? What do they have to start their day with?
So I wish I had it in front of me. Normally they're breakfast, they eat their breakfast, and then they have playtime. We call it move time, energy time. We'll throw on some YouTube sing-alongs, or I'm a 4-year-old and I'm a 11-year-old, so I'm kind of in between.
Yeah, you got a range there. Yeah.
So we have to like break the day up with each one, but they'll go ride their hoverboards or go on their bikes, or depending on the weather, find something to do. No devices. We're really big on device limiting, and that's been very difficult because that's their only way to socialize with their friends right now.
Yeah.
But we're still trying to limit that as much as possible. So they have activity, and so I kind of get them moving, and then after that we do schoolwork, because I figure that's time they're wore out, they've had fun, let's just sit down and do some schoolwork. And then after that, after they do their schoolwork, we do lunch, or we do a snack when they do their schoolwork. Yeah. And then we do lunch after schoolwork, and then usually after lunch is their playtime, like outside again. I'm a big advocate. I'm like, send them outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they'll go outside, and they're 3 boys, so they pretty much entertain themselves when they're all 3 together outside with some kind of sport or some kind of activity. And then we do homework again, because and then just kind of, and then by then that's usually the time they're getting out of school. And then we just kind of follow our daily routines. We hang out as a family, or get stuff done. They have a chore list they do in between all this too. So they have chores that they have to do every day. Make their bed, because I'm a real big advocate. If your bed ain't made, your day ain't made.
Right. Yeah.
So it's hard, to stay on them like that. But I feel like the better my kids are under structure, the better they are. Like if I just let them loose, which is really the easiest thing to do, they're just all over the place.
Right.
So
it was a long time ago. It was, I don't even know who said it or talked about it, if it was like an expert or if it was just somebody I knew, but they said kids actually want structure. Like they need that. And it's true, because I think we all know as adults how we are. If we have no structure, and that's what's happening right now, there is like the routine is blown.
Yeah, we're going crazy.
Everybody is like in this place of like, what the heck am I supposed to do right now? Like, I don't know what to do with myself. And you know, it's so you throw people out of that routine, people who didn't even think they had a routine. Now they're like, it's crazy. And so to keep that in place, that's huge. And I think for your sanity and for theirs, and it's tough because I know a lot of couples too that do they do a date night, or they'll do, before all this happened. So what are you guys doing? Like how do you're together 24/7. So how do you guys find time for just the two of you? Do you find that time?
Right now, no, really and truthfully. We live fairly close to my parents and my husband's parents, so we're really blessed in the fact that we have a really strong family unity here. But we really haven't been seeing them. We went from seeing them every day to maybe once a week, very limited. So we don't know. The kids have been here with us, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And it's been difficult for sure.
Oh, we've lost your video. There you go.
Uh-oh.
You're back. It's just a little bit, you're just blurry, but it'll come back. It always does.
No, that's fine. So, it's been hard. No time. And we both have been working. We're both, I still have a full-time busy job. And then, construction hasn't stopped. It's actually gotten busier. Right. So it's definitely, everybody has, difficult things going on right now for sure. Everybody is going to be affected by this in some way or another. So,
so what would you say are the takeaways from this experience? What are the good takeaways from it? We know the challenges are the ones that, those are the challenges. What do you think are the good things that are going to come out of this?
Oh, I think so much good is going to come out of this. I think for one, just for me, it was, you know, being with my family and slowing down, was, I didn't know that God was like, you have way too much going on. Like, you need to stop what you're doing. You're out of control. I thought I was in control. I was like, yeah, I got everything. I got the baseball tournaments, and we're going to be gone. I mean, we were gone till 10, 11 o'clock every night at ball fields, every night a week, eating fast food. I mean, it's hectic, you know, it's crazy. Yeah. And now I'm like, wow, this is nice. As much as I want to say, like, this has been really hard with my kids and I actually have a better relationship, really. I mean, I feel like through all this, they communicate more with me. So, yeah, I mean, I think they realize how much I do now. And, like, you know, as a mother, you know, like, wow, you know, like, I didn't know you did all this all day. And it's just been great. You know, I mean, it's hard. I mean, I'm not going to lie, but you just have to find that little bit every day. And I think there's going to be a lot of good unity, communities coming together. I mean, our community is amazing, and everybody's been helping each other and loving on each other and being there for them. Yeah. Really, I think of the importance of human life. Like, and how much everybody is important, and everybody has a place here and a reason. Yeah. So.
Oh, for sure. I think it was 2 nights ago, there was all this honking and stuff going on, and I was like, what the heck is happening? And people yelling, and is somebody having a fight out? It's 7 o'clock at night. Like, it was just shortly after we did our cheer thing, and I thought, what is going on? Like, they were doing a drive-by happy birthday for this senior lady that lives, she must live in the building, like, either beside us or a couple down, but, like, and there was so many people. They decorated their cars and, like, happy birthday, and they ran and kind of they set up a table, and they put the cake and whatever the presents on the table, and then ran back to their cars. But it was really cool, because it was like, I think now more than ever, people are making even way more effort for those things, right?
Way more effort. I can say in my community, we've done the same thing. We've had a baby shower, and everybody did a parade, and we had a birthday, and for Easter, we actually had an Easter sunrise service in our community outside. Everybody was 6 feet apart. But I mean, you know, so I would have never have done those things. I would have been too busy. Right. I think the most beautiful thing every day, and I have gorgeous weather down here in Georgia. So
yeah, you do.
But one of the most beautiful things, almost every day, if I have to go somewhere, I see people out in their yard playing with their children. I'm like, wow, I never saw that before. But almost every day, every house, everybody's outside and spending time together. This is time that we're never going to get back. That I think that things slowed down and was like, hey, let's see what's important in life, and let's go from there.
Yeah, I've talked with Rex about that, and just my thing about this whole thing is, like, we all know the bad, we all know the, you know, all of the whatever, like that is what it is. And what I keep saying is, this is a reset on the entire world. Yes. Because the entire world was out of control. It was off the rails. Everybody's complaining about how kids can't function without a device in their hand, and they don't know how to communicate, and they don't know this, and they don't know that. Well, guess what? They do now. And I'll tell you what, your guys' kids are going to be the kids who can come through anything now. Yeah. Because I think I posted that in one of the groups with a bunch of ladies in that group, and I just said, you guys, like, your kids are going to be the most resilient kids there's probably ever been, because they're going to know how to go through hard things, and they're going to do it way more gracefully than the adults are currently.
Oh, I agree with that.
Right?
I totally agree.
And kudos to all of the parents out there who are at home with their kids 24/7 and throwing homeschooling in the mix. Every time I think about that, I have a little bit, it takes my breath away, because I just am like, oh, I can't even imagine. Yes, so how do you guys I want to talk a little bit about the homeschooling thing. So it's all virtual, right? Or how is it working where you guys are?
So it is all virtual. However, there's a lot of people that do not have internet where we live because I live. So that's been an obstacle for a lot of people. So they either pick up their schoolwork once a week and like packets, or you can do virtual. So far for us, it's been a challenge. I have to Google a lot. Because the math and like all the prepositional phrases and where to put the commas. I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot to do all that. So I guess I'm learning as well, which I needed to learn. I needed to work on my grammar skills. So
they would make me turn my diploma back in. I'd have to go back to about grade 4 probably for math. Probably less than that.
Yeah. Oh. So lots of Googling, parents, and YouTube videos.
Right.
But it's been pretty, so far, we're only 4 weeks in, so we had a week for spring break, so technically we're going to be on week 6, but it was a lot of reviewing stuff, so my kids knew what they were doing, but now we're getting into the new stuff, and that's when mommy is having to sit on YouTube and teach herself videos and pretend like she knows it.
Right. So so you've got grade what?
Fifth and third, and then my he does pre-K school.
Yeah.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that is got to be a challenge for sure. I can't even, especially it's the math one that I see posts about the math and I'm like, okay, what is that? What kind of math even is that? That wasn't math we did. But
I call my husband sometimes. I'm like, what does this mean? How do you measure this?
Right.
So yeah. But it's definitely an obstacle. And we're out for the rest of the year. So
I think a lot of places, I think up here as well, are out for the year from what I've heard, but I've got a few people friends of mine that are teachers as well, and a principal, and so it's a learning curve for everybody. And I think, for those teachers, as people kind of make the jokes that it's a break for them and stuff, but you know what, that's what they do. So
I know,
it's kind of
they love their kids.
So I mean, it's hard for everybody. And going back to the appreciation thing, kids are going to appreciate school, right? Parents are going to start appreciating their teachers more. And
absolutely.
I think it's going to be a bunch of appreciation, because I know my daughter was talking about somebody that she works with, and she said, her husband was she works with this person's husband, and he was, he would get home and she would be kind of snapping at her kids, and he'd be like, why are you, don't snap at them and blah. And they were having one of their Zoom calls, and he was like, my kids, they're driving me crazy. I've been here for 2 days. And they said, see, maybe, and he goes, I appreciate my wife more now than ever.
Absolutely.
Right? So
vice versa.
I hope that's really making that people are realizing that and taking that into consideration, holy smokes, you do, you aren't sitting around all day playing with kids and it's fun and games, because it isn't.
Right. It's a lot of work. It's a full-time job. It's the most important job you'll ever have. So
absolutely.
That's it's just part of the game. But we're all going to make it through this, and our kids are going to be just fine. And I tell parents have asked me, how are you getting through this? And I've even had parents say, you know what, I'm not doing it. I can't do it, and I don't want to, and I'm just going to give my kids a break. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. If you're their parents, if you think that's what they need right now, then give them that break. And their parents work on the front lines. They're nurses and doctors. So I think their kids are having a lot of, that's scary for a child to know that every day their mother or father is putting their life on the line,
Right.
So I'm like, let them not worry about school right now.
Yeah, and it's important to, for everybody to remember, what works for one doesn't work for all. There are no rules. What works for your family is what works. And if it's Like, if it's chaos, then it's chaos.
It's chaos.
If it's structure, it's structure. Like,
right.
You do what's, that's what works best for you, then go for it. Like, it's the same as everything. Like, don't be in that comparison game, because that'll take you to a bad place, right?
Yes, it will. Yeah. I mean, and that's funny that you say that, because I mean, that's a constant struggle that I have dealt with, and and I think being a woman, I think all of us really deal with it. Is comparing yourself, and you just got to step outside and be like, no, I'm going to worry about me and my home and what's best for me. And I may not be the model mother that does Pinterest crafts every day, but they're going to remember that, I did X, Y, and Z with them. That was important to us. Yeah. So you just got to be happy with who you are.
Oh, exactly. And I think that's the thing too. It's very much that whole, like, you're supposed to be doing crafts and you're supposed to be doing this and learning a new thing. You know what? Like, no, you don't have to be doing any of those things. Like,
but if it works for you, that's awesome.
100%. Yeah.
And I envy you.
Exactly.
Because I wish I could do crafts.
Me too. Me too. I see those and I'm like, dang, like, nobody wants to see my crafts. For sure. That is not my strength.
Mine either.
I think I said that yesterday was, if you're learning something new, share it. If you're this, post it. Like, if you've got a new coffee recipe. I said, I can't share it because I don't have any. So it's all good,
I'll share somebody else's.
Right. I am a resharer. Please let me reshare. But it's whatever, however you're getting through it, just do your best to get through it. And if one day sucks, it's going to suck. Like, and that's okay. That's really the whole thing. Don't be like, we all need to be gentle with ourselves and graceful.
One of my favorite sayings is, don't bring your garbage from yesterday. And don't bring your garbage from yesterday into today. So it's every morning, it's like, all right, let's just start out clean. It's a new day. What happened yesterday isn't going to be my outcome today.
Right.
And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but most of the time, if you can really just tell yourself that and just let it go, learn to let things go is the key. But it's like huge. I said, and my faith and my prayer life and my walk with Jesus obviously is why I am who I am. But and because I can find joy in that. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit more about that. So is that been something that has been a part of your life right from day one, or is that something that, how did that all start for you?
Yeah. So, goodness, I grew up in going to church from a young age. Ever since I can remember, I'm a Southern Georgia girl,
Right. That's
we live
part
in the
of
Bible.
the deal.
Yeah, you're born going to church. The next day you're going to church. You're basically born in a church. So, I grew up always going to church, always being at church, Wednesday nights, Sunday nights, studies, whatever. I would say, obviously always from a young age, probably 9 or 10 years old, I've always believed in God. But my walk with Jesus really didn't start happening until after I had kids. Yeah. So, obviously I was always a Christian, but I didn't really start understanding the love that Jesus has for me until I started going through some very hard times in my life. There was just some trials and tribulations that I went through, and some things that, I probably wasn't proud of. Yeah. And that's when I learned the only person that's going to love me for who I am is really one person, and and that's Jesus. Yeah. So after that, that's kind of where it just started. I really started growing in my walk. I really started, just simple steps, going back to church, because I had fallen out of church for quite a few years, getting involved in the local communities, getting involved in my church, being with nursery work or anything that I could get my hands on. I started just trying to serve the Lord. That's when I started finding real joy, is when I could start serving others and just trying to live, be a positive light. And, things aren't perfect, but hey, it's okay. I mean, let's just try to do the best we can and, be who God says we need to be. And, all this is going to be okay. Like what we're going through right now really is just a little small piece of what we have waiting for us.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then, it obviously as your kids get older, we get more and more involved in church. And then, I mean, where we're at today, I mean, that's what I miss the most about this, is not being able to go to church. And it was funny, as a lot of times as a mother, and I'm sure as most mothers out there with young children, I kind of, like, Sundays were hard for me. Like, I was like, I really
trying to get everybody ready.
It's chaos, everybody's trying to get ready and everybody's trying to get food. And I would go to church angry a lot. And I didn't realize that was happening. But now that all this has happened, I'm like, I just want to go to church. I want to be, and it doesn't matter, that my kids don't look presentable or,
right.
Like all the things that I'm worried about just don't matter. My favorite thing to do is like wake up on Sunday morning and worship in my living room now, you know? So I feel like, a lot of those things were taken away from us because we didn't realize how important they really were.
Yeah, I agree. And I wanted to just kind of talk a little bit about the difference, and you said it beautifully, was you were Christian, but your walk with Jesus didn't start until a certain time. And I wanted just to talk a little bit about that, because religion's a funny thing.
Yeah, it is.
And it's people get thrown off by it very easily. I was one of those people, very thrown off by it, very much like
I was too.
That kind of makes me nervous. Like, and Rex and I both started going to this church that's very close by where we live, and we just randomly walked in. It was New Year's Day, and we could hear the music, so we were like, I said, well, do you want to go in? So let's go in. And I've gone ever since, just because I really like how upbeat it is. I like the message. They're talking in words I understand. Right. It's a very positive thing. But I know I remember sitting there and people are like, they've got their hands waving, and I'm like, I don't like that that really freaks me out. And now I'm not like, I get it now, but it's one of those things where I think religion and Christianity, I don't even know how to kind of differentiate that, but religion versus that are two different things to me.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah.
Religion is where I was when my walk was not with Jesus. I came from a church that was very religious, very, lots of rules. I was like, this isn't a relationship. Like I shouldn't feel convicted all the time. Just all these rules and, things I had to remember, So, and then after a while, I went to some churches that weren't, very religious. It was just about Jesus, and his love for us. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it now. Like, I get it, like that's what I want. And that's what it took for me, to understand that love. And then following the rules aren't so hard, but you have to understand where it comes from first. Obviously the rules are still hard to follow sometimes. Yeah. But what God says and what God, it just makes it all worth it in me, Yeah. Yeah. But yes, religion is a touchy subject for sure.
It sure is, but that, and that's kind of why I love when people come on here and talk about their faith, because it removes that stigma a little bit, where there's that, I kind of, and this might just be me, but I associate religion with judgmental, like very being judgmental, right? And very like, you're wrong if you're doing that. Like, and it's not based on what the Bible, well, there's so many interpretations of the Bible, but like, it's not, you know, that's people making those judgments.
Right, that's man-made. That's not God's
right.
word.
Yeah.
Right.
So
right.
I think there's been that kind of place where people they're even scared to open their mind or heart even to being a part of that for that very reason, because they think it's all judgmental and like it's very, you know, they don't know how to kind of walk through that and navigate it.
Right.
But it's important to find the place where you're comfortable too. Like, just because you were raised in one church does not mean you can't go to another.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's all about the relationship. Wherever you are, it can be in your home, it can be in a church, it can be in your workplace, wherever it may be, you know, wherever you're comfortable with. You can worship Him. You don't have to be in a church. You don't have to be in a religion. You know, it's just about you and your relationship and your walk with Jesus and God. So.
Right. Yeah. I think it's awesome. And I mean, I've seen people posting where they're, you know, doing that at home, and it's cool to see all the, you know, families doing that in their own homes and right now. And I mean, it is hard. I've seen a number of people, and they've said the same thing as you. They've got kids. And so you're trying to, Sunday mornings were hectic, and it was like, you're stressed and you get to church and you're just like, ugh, and not realizing you're that way.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because it's the norm.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So it's that taking a step back and going, oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
I see it now. Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's part of the reset and part of the reason we're going through all of this. So it's as hard as it is, it's going to be, it's a good thing too. So,
yep, it is.
I want to also touch base about football.
Oh, yeah? I wore my Georgia shirt.
Yeah, stand up so they can see, because they can only see like the top half. There we go.
Can you see?
I know you're an avid football fan.
Yes. You know, we live in the South. It's God, family, and football. Right. Period.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, I grew up in Georgia. It's kind of like one of them things. Georgia football has always been, you know, I grew up in a very small town. Cheered. So football is, I mean, Friday Night Lights were our thing. I mean, like, we live for Fridays, and that's it. And that's a football game.
Yeah.
From the time I was little. So now I live 30, 45 minutes from the University of Georgia, and, you know, obviously I get to go to all the games, and I've always love Georgia. It's just my passion. Yeah. But having boys has really solidified that for me about football. Yes. I mean, I love football. Like, and we all, it's just something that I can relate to them with, because they play football. Right. They love, I mean, we can go to the Georgia games together. So it was something that we, as a mom, it's hard to, I mean, my husband can do all the fun things, you know, he can take a fishing and hunting and, you know, he gets to do all the fun things, golfing, and, I can do those, but it's mom. So Georgia football is my kids and, like, the boys, and that's our thing, like 100%. Right. So we get to go, I'll take them to the games and, take them to the tailgates and do the whole experience all the time. So that's just our bonding, and so watching the games on TV, I mean, so that is like our thing. And if there is a SEC football game on, you're going to probably find me and my boys watching it. And my husband's probably working, like out in the yard. And then he'll come in and watch the game, but that is our thing. So
that's nice. That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, with all boys, that is hard for moms, I think, because the dads kind of get to do all the, like you said, all the cool stuff. So it's nice that you guys have that thing that you guys will have forever for sure. That's cool. Yeah. So how many? Okay, so this is college ball, right?
Correct. Yes. Okay. College football. I mean, I follow the pros a little bit. I mean, if football's on, I'm going to stop and watch it. Right. Definitely. Yeah. But mostly college, any college football that's really, really, really popular where we're at.
I remember I think it was Tyler Fisk was on. And he's a Patriots fan, like hasn't missed a game in like 12 years or something.
Yeah,
like
football fans are crazy.
Yeah, and so I was like, I said something about college football, and he's like, no, I don't no, that's not. And I thought, and he was the first one. I thought it was kind of a hand-in-hand thing, like you liked all of it.
So,
yeah, I didn't know there was such a difference. I was like, oh, I was totally shocked.
Yes. Most people, it's like either you're a college football or you're a professional football. The South is definitely college football all the way. I mean, you know, that's all we have down here.
Right. Yeah.
But like the North and all that, they're real big into the pro football because our pro football teams aren't very good down here. So.
So who is your pro football team if you have a choice? Or do you want to say that out loud?
Yeah, if I say what I would want to say, everybody will hate me forever.
Yeah. It's a risky question.
It's a risky question.
We've talked about religion, and now football is like, I don't know if I want to talk about that.
It's a no-go. I would have to say I follow all my Georgia players. So like whatever team they're on is usually the team.
Yeah, I guess, right.
Yeah. So if I have a Georgia player on like one of the teams, I usually pick the team that has. Yeah, that's how I do it. But if I had to choose, I would probably say the Patriots.
Yeah.
But
I think all the Patriot fans are now going to have to be Tampa Bay fans by the sounds of what's going on, though.
Yes,
Tom Brady's rebuilding the Tampa Bay team.
I know, right. I like the Patriots just because it's the Patriots. Like, it's America, Patriot.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he's a really good football coach. So I'm like, it's just easy, right?
Yeah, I'll just pick that.
I'll just pick the bandwagon team.
Yeah, I'm my husband is a Patriots fan for sure too, and so I always have to pick the opposite.
Yeah.
We can't be cheering for the same team. It doesn't work for me. We have to have a little like rivalry going.
Yeah, so, you have to make it fun. You have to make it fun. My kids do that with me sometimes. You know, Georgia will be playing like Alabama or somebody, and they're like, I'm gonna pull for Alabama today. I'm like, no, you're not. What are you doing?
There's another girl who I'm trying to think of who she cheers for too, and I want to say it is Georgia. I might be wrong, but she's an avid football fan. She is from Alabama, but it's not. Who is Alabama's team?
Who is Alabama? Which one? They have Auburn, and then they have.
She's
Alabama.
an Auburn fan.
Okay.
Sorry, she's an avid Auburn fan. So there's always, I see the posts, the rivalry posts, and it's always so funny. But I love it because it is that whole, like, everybody does bond over that, families, and it's so cool.
I mean,
we don't
have
that up here, really.
Yes, I've met some of my most best friends through football. Like having conversations or tailgating or whatever. So
I think that's so awesome because it becomes that family event, and
the unity.
It's not just like the dads go and they're going to the football game and nobody goes with them because it's a dad thing. Like, it's everybody goes and everybody gets to have fun, and like I think I love that. I love seeing the pictures. I like all that stuff, so it's cool that you guys do that. So cool. So
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You'll have to come down to a Georgia football game.
I've got to go to Georgia. Yes.
You just have to make a trip to Georgia, and we will take you and do all the Georgia things.
Fun. It would be so fun. So what are the other Georgia things?
What
are the fun things to do? Tell us about Georgia.
Georgia's the most amazing state ever.
Yeah.
We have the amazing beaches. What's really nice about Georgia is you can like really get to anywhere in Georgia like probably within 3 to 4 hours. So you can
is that right?
I mean, it's not. Yeah, pretty much. So you can go to the mountains. You can go to the beach. You can go. I mean, it's really mountains or beach. So mountains or beach, or you have your a lot of historical stuff in Georgia.
Yeah.
Antebellum mansions and plantations and homes and so it's I live in a historical town, and it's
cool.
Actually one of the only towns that Sherman did not burn on his way to Savannah. So all of the houses in town is redone, and it's like walking through time in Madison.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. So we would show you all kinds of fun things.
Oh, and my husband would be like, it's haunted for sure.
Oh, it's definitely haunted.
We watch a lot of ghost shows here, so you know there's a lot of that going on every time.
We'll have to take him to Savannah.
Oh yes, I don't know if he could. He's watching, so you know, I don't know if he could handle it though. We might be too scared, but it looks so beautiful there because I always say, "Oh, it's so pretty! Like it looks so nice."
It is.
Yeah. But we watch those, and they'll do sometimes they go into those plantation homes, and it's like, oh boy, it's gonna be a good one. We all, it's gonna be a good
love a good ghost story.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
Yeah. So what else is happening in Georgia? What?
Well, we're the talk of the nation right now.
Oh, are you?
Yes. So yesterday, our governor just opened up our entire state. Back. We were the first ones, so we'll see how this goes. We're the guinea pigs.
See how it goes. Interesting. Okay.
So, yeah. That's
so all businesses are back up and running?
Well, no,
or they're doing it a slow...
Right. I think most of them are trickle effects. They're going to open up. There's a lot of precautionary measures. Our new normal, the normal we knew is not the normal anymore. It's going to definitely, everything we do is going to change. So, everybody's putting all those procedures into place, and we'll, see how it goes. Hopefully, everything goes well, and it's just going to be a learning curve. I mean, it's no one knows, it's going to be a learning curve for everybody.
Right.
So that's what Georgia's up to these days.
Very good. Well, I'm going to say that I hope they keep, and I don't know if you guys have this down there, but up here, they've got the 6, the markers on the floor in the stores. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm just going to say I hope they keep those because, and I wish they had them forever because people don't get personal space.
Not at all.
And here in Vancouver, I'm like, I don't need to feel your breath down my neck. I've hated that forever. Standing, waiting to cross the street, and everybody feels like you have to be all lumped.
Yeah, like a herd of cows.
Back up.
Yes.
Back up. So I appreciate the markers on the floor, not for any other reason than that reason.
Right? I do too. I would be checking out, and someone would be standing over my shoulder.
Right?
I'm
I know.
What are you doing? I'm still paying for stuff, and they're like,
yeah.
So, that's nice.
I think it's that, again, it's kind of slow down. I think people do that because they're rushing, right? So they don't even think what they're doing.
They don't even realize it. They're just
and
ready
it's
to go to the next,
dang, can you just settle down? So I'm quite happy with the floor markers. I'm not going to lie.
I like it. I mean, I think everything we're doing is stuff we probably should have been doing anyway.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
So it's going to be good. I think, Yeah. Wash your hands. Stay
Wash
clean.
your hands. Exactly.
Exactly. But that's what Georgia's doing right now.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes, and hopefully, like you say, it'll go at a good pace, and everything will be okay, and get kind of things back on track. For your work, how's that been? Has it been affected, other than you guys all being remote, obviously, but
right.
Has it been okay for work, or?
I think everybody has experienced some sort of slowdown.
Right.
I mean, who hasn't? Definitely has been slower. The position that I'm in is very busy. We really haven't slowed down. So it is, we have locations it has, as far as my job, it hasn't really slowed down, but our locations have had to shut down because of the stay at home, and New York City, a lot of these are Washington, and, a lot of these places have we've shut down, we only work remotely, no travel, obviously. So that's been kind of different.
Yeah, you guys that travel for work, this is a little bit of a different thing.
It is.
For sure.
I was sitting there talking to my friend the other day. I'm like, I actually miss sitting in the airport. Like,
oh yeah.
I miss sitting in the airport. I haven't been to an airport in, at least once a month I would be at the airport, and I'm like, now I don't have an airport to go to. I can't go anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I know that was a thing that people were like, they were on the road so much. Like,
right.
Cole Fletcher is one.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and Benji Abbott, and a number of them, like, all just of them, all the time. So this has got to be such a transition for them. I know. I think it was Cole's wife. She was like, I think we need to get, like, he needs to go back to work so I can start cooking again. And I don't know, she listed a bunch of stuff. It was hilarious. It is. But it is that, oh, now you're home all the time? Like,
all the time.
Yeah.
There is no break.
Yeah, it's a different thing. So for sure. But all right. Well, we have used up a whole hour of your time.
No, well, thanks for having me.
We're going to have you come back on Foam Stars, and that's going to be all work related. So we are going to plan that out with you, and we'll make that happen. But
absolutely,
anything you want to say to wrap things up?
Thanks for having me, and
you're welcome.
It's been a blast. Stay positive through all this. Love on each other. Be kind to each other. We're all going through difficult times. Even though, some handle it better than others or carry it better than others, everybody is hurting at some point, I think, during this. Yeah. Mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, something is, everyone's affected. So just take that into consideration whenever you talk to someone or wherever you go. The grocery store workers, healthcare workers, just be kind, love on each other. That's all we can do from a distance, obviously.
Yeah.
Pick up the phone, call people, call your friends, check on them, do everything, just be there for each other. That's the biggest thing right now is, I think we obviously know the value of human life now.
Right.
It's the most important thing that we have. So, let's take advantage of that and love on each other. Be good. Be good, be kind. For me, it's pray. Yeah. I think I've done more praying in the past 4 weeks than I've done in 4 years.
Right.
But, and just be kind to your neighbor.
Yeah. No, I think that's a beautiful way to end things. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and I can't wait to have you back and talk about work stuff and just, we'll have a lot of interesting conversation there and a lot of comments, I'm sure. So I know there's some people commenting on here too, so we can go back after and we'll go through that. But
no worries.
Just want to say thank you to everybody for coming on and joining us today. And exactly what Chelsea said. Let's be kind to one another. And I'm getting a sign. What did that say? Sorry. Oh, next week. We'll talk about next week in another post. I don't have anybody next week, so we will have to.
We'll have a surprise.
We'll have a surprise guest next week. So if anybody's open to coming on, please do. And on that note, you guys have a great day.
Thank you.
Do something. Find a little bit of joy somehow, somewhere in your day, and we will catch you all next week with I'm not sure who. We'll talk to you all then.
Bye.
Bye for now.